All right, we're diving right in because the last 24 hours have just completely redrawn the map of the tech world. This isn't just an update, it's a special briefing on the agentic revolution that literally just kicked off. So, we have to start with the biggest, most insane headline of the week. This question right here. I mean, think about it. In less than a month, $2 trillion in value just vanished from the software sector. And no, this wasn't a recession, it wasn't an interest rate hike. This was something else entirely, something far more fundamental. And of course, the market has already given it a nickname. You're going to hear this everywhere. Analysts are calling it the SaaSpocalypse. And yeah, it's a dramatic name, but it's for an equally dramatic event that is shaking the very foundations of how software has been sold for decades. Okay, and this slide right here gets to the absolute core of it. The Wall Street panic isn't about some normal market cycle. It's about a simple but world-changing idea. What happens when the AI becomes the user? This completely torpedoes the classic business model of charging companies per seat for every human employee that uses their software. So, if the market crash was the effect, what was the cause? Well, let's get right to it. The catalyst for this whole earthquake is a brand new kind of artificial intelligence. And this is the key difference you have to understand. For the last couple of years, we've thought of AI as a co-pilot, right? Something that helps a human do their job. Well, that's over. We've now moved to AI as an autonomous worker. You can give it a high-level goal, something like, hey, analyze this quarter's sales data and build me a slide deck. And it just goes and does it on its own across multiple programs with no hand-holding. Now, I want to be clear. This is not a theory. This isn't some 5-year forecast. The trigger for this market panic was the release of 2 real working models that can actually do this stuff. Anthropic's Claude Cowork and Alibaba's Qwen 3.5 weren't just another small update. They are a whole new category of AI. And here's the proof. Just look at the data on this slide. These benchmarks measure how well AI can perform agentic tasks. So, Terminal Bench, that basically tests if an AI can use a computer's command line. You know, the complex stuff developers do. And BrowseComp tests how well it can navigate the web to find what it needs. We're not talking about small improvements here. This is a massive leap forward in an AI's ability to actually use software, just like a person would. But what's actually powering this new army of AI agents? Well, this software revolution is being built on a foundation of pure physical hardware. And there is an absolutely unprecedented global spending spree happening right now to build out the infrastructure for it. To really get a sense of the scale, you just have to follow the money. Look at this. Amazon is projecting a mind-blowing $200 billion in capital spending for 2026 alone. And it doesn't stop there. Alphabet is right behind them, planning to spend around $180 billion as they scramble to build enough capacity for their Gemini models. And then you've got Microsoft, on track for $120 billion. And get this, they already have an $80 billion backlog of cloud orders they can't even get to yet because demand is just completely off the charts. And here it is, the grand total. When you add up the top 5, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, and Oracle, these hyperscalers are on pace to spend nearly $700 billion on infrastructure in a single year. Let's be really clear. This is not a routine upgrade. This is a global, all-out sprint to build the physical world that these new AI agents will live in. All that spending means they have to lock down the supply chain for the most important part, the chips. And just this week, Meta and Nvidia announced a historic partnership. This is not just a simple purchase order. This is a massive strategic deal that basically guarantees Meta access to the most powerful future chips. It's a power move that separates the haves from the have-nots in this new AI arms race. But this incredibly fast, agent-driven revolution, it's not all about opportunity. It's also creating a brand new landscape of risk. And the consequences for security are, frankly, terrifying. So take a look at this breakdown from Microsoft's latest security patches. The biggest category of flaws at 42% was something called elevation of privilege. Now, in simple terms, that's a bug that lets an attacker get way more access than they're supposed to have. So now imagine an autonomous AI agent finding and exploiting that bug. It could give itself God mode access to your entire network in less than a second. And again, this is not a hypothetical. This specific vulnerability is a 0-day flaw in Windows. That means hackers were already using it before anyone even knew it existed. According to cybersecurity firms, it's been actively used in real-world attacks for months. The risk is here, and it's happening right now.
So what does all this mean? Well, it means our defenses have to evolve, like yesterday. This brings us to a whole new paradigm, agentic security. You see, the only way to defend against autonomous AI attackers is with autonomous AI defenders. It's that simple. Human security teams, no matter how good they are, just can't keep up. It's a machine speed problem, and it demands a machine speed solution.
Okay, so we've covered the catalyst, the hardware foundation, and the security fallout. So let's zoom out. What are the key signals you need to be watching as this new world order starts to take shape? Here's your cheat sheet, your trend radar for the next few months. First, keep your eyes glued to that hyperscaler spending. Does it keep going up? Second, can AI labs like OpenAI and Anthropic actually start making enough money to justify this insane infrastructure bill? And finally, you have to watch the real-world limits. How much electricity is available, and what's going to happen with the geopolitical drama around chip exports? At the end of the day, those could be the ultimate bottlenecks that slow this whole thing down.
And all of that brings us to our final slide, and really the only question that matters now. After watching a $2 trillion market correction, a nearly $700 billion infrastructure build-out, and the birth of autonomous AI workers, the only thing left to ask is this. And this isn't about next quarter's earnings. This is about the next decade of survival.